How's it going, guys? Today I just want to take the time to go into my actual favorite Sonic character. You know, the one that shares my name, the one whose face took over my avatar icon for the first years of my channel. The one that's always, well, not always, but every so often on my YouTube banner. The one I always claim to favor, this red echidna that people will forever pair me with this channel. And that is Knuckles the Echidna. Yes, it's very obvious. You know, that's the main reason. I feel like I would have made a top 10 Sonic characters list years ago had I not, like, given it away that Knuckles was my favorite, you know. If my name wasn't StephenKnux, right, I probably would have been made that list. No, I thought I'd just do just like a unscripted, just kind of video talking about Knuckles, why I like Knuckles. I think I had a video up about that about Knuckles and why he's important. I didn't like the video, I didn't like the way it came out, so it's private now. Basically, the message was clear, I just didn't like everything else, like, I didn't like a lot of things about that video, but I want this to be my definitive reason, my definitive video talking about why I actually like Knuckles the Echidna, because a lot of people asked me over the years on either on Twitter or my early comments, even my voice actor video. I don't think I really went into detail to why I liked the characters. It was just like the delivery and their portrayal of Knuckles, but this video is why I like Knuckles, why he is my favorite character. Oddly enough, it doesn't go all the way back to Sonic 3 as you might think. I actually didn't know Sonic 3 was a game until Mega Collection. I know that's weird, but 3 is just, I didn't know there was a Sonic 3. I had Sonic 2 and Sonic 1 on Genesis, so I just completely skipped over that. Without the collections, I don't think I would have just known about that. But no, my love for Knuckles comes all the way to, it goes from, I think it started at Sonic Adventure. As you saw in my console countdown, I explained that I didn't have a Dreamcast, but I knew someone that did. It was a cousin of mine, and I'd go over there and play, they play Sonic Adventure, and I watched them, because, you know, Adventure is a one-player game, and I didn't know, like, the characters were new to me. Like, all I knew was Sonic and Tails, obviously, because I wasn't, like, a fan at that point. The Adventure games made me a fan, so I was just, like, I knew of Sonic, I liked playing it, and I liked the music and the Genesis games. I didn't know like any of the other characters. I thought it was just Sonic, Tails, Robotnik, and I think that was it, you know? So, going into Adventure, I just thought Knuckles, like, I think I saw one cutscene, with Knuckles, and I was like, who the hell is this red guy? I thought it was cool, just a red Sonic character. I thought he looked pretty cool, and the way his hair was pretty cool, too. It was like, I kind of thought he was, like, a girl at first, you know, like, the way his hair, because they're, like, dreadlocks in a way. I was like, who is this? And I was like, oh, okay, so, it appeared different, kind of like what I said in my Blaze video. It's just a different looking character. It was like, alright, this is pretty cool. So I just watched him play, and then when he finally got to play as him, oh, and I thought his voice was pretty cool too. Yeah, when I actually got to see him play as him, I was like, this dude can fly. Like, this dude was gliding across forest and crap. Like, I've never seen that with Sonic, like any platformer. I don't think I've ever seen a character do that at the time. And I thought it was just the coolest thing. This dude's just like gliding in the air, breaking clouds, and well, he's not breaking clouds, but, you know, of course, I transitioned that into that, you know, clouds is like the theme of my channel. But anyways, I just thought that was the coolest thing. This dude could, like, punch, like, he didn't homing attack or anything, like Sonic would do. But I just thought Knuckles was cool, man, and, like, his story, like, I loved watching his cutscenes. At the time, I wasn't fully invested into Adventure because, I was young, you know, a lot of things you forget when you're young, or it's not that important to you at the time, but, you know, whenever I finally actually got my hands on the games myself, I was like, yeah, this is like really cool, this is a really cool game. But going back to, you know, my past story with Knuckles and Sonic Adventure, he instantly became my favorite character in the game, and most likely my favorite Sonic character, period, because I just didn't know who this guy was. I just thought it was like the coolest thing ever at the time. You know, when you're a kid, a lot of things are cool to you, like freaking Power Rangers and all this other stuff you see on TV, like cartoons, all that stuff is cool to you. I just thought Knuckles was pretty cool, man. I thought he was, yeah, I just thought it was cool. I didn't have much reason to go by other than the fact that I liked the way this dude talked. I liked that he could fly. That was pretty cool, and he, like, did punches and crap. It was like the coolest thing to me. I didn't know his music or anything. That wasn't, again, I didn't, like, learn to really like the character until later. Then I go to Sonic Adventure 2. Again, I witnessed Sonic Adventure 2, I think it was through Dreamcast first. and then battle. But either way, I didn't own Adventure 2 until years later. So again, I was just watching and playing in multiplayer and stuff with my cousin. And Adventure 2 really made me like Knuckles. Like Adventure 2, if you guys don't know, Adventure 2 is like my favorite incarnation of Knuckles and Shadow. My two favorite characters. They were done perfectly in that game. My favorite version of like a lot of the characters, really. It's my favorite Eggman, it's my favorite Rouge, obviously Knuckles and Shadow. One of my favorite Sonics, I can never debate my favorite Sonic, but man, SA2 I think SA2 did so much right in terms of characters. Yeah, Knuckles in SA2 was so cool, dude. Like, he had the coolest voice ever. He had sunglasses and gear, and he just played so fun. The dude was like so fast. It was like a completely different experience. Like, it was, take what I liked about Adventure, right? Like, I really thought he was cool, but they just made him so much more cooler in Adventure 2. And I was like, good lord, dude. Yeah, his music too. His music is easily my favorite in the game. I just love, you know, the mellow raps and like the hip hop vibes they give off, you know, like Dive in the Mellow, my favorite song in the game. What else? Meteor Herd, like Space Trips or whatever, I forgot the name of it, something like that. All of his themes are just so great, and they fit the worlds, like the stages so well. I know people hate the treasure hunting, but at the time I didn't mind it. Like, I thought it was just cool that I got to play with this character. On a lot of the times in the multiplayer, I'd end up playing with Rouge. Yeah, because the Dreamcast version, I don't think the other characters were there, so it was just Knuckles and Rouge. So I'd always be the second player because I didn't own the game, so I had to be Rouge. And I was like, who is this mouse character? I don't want to be this character. Yes, I thought Rouge was a mouse. That's embarrassing as hell. Yeah, dude, it was like the coolest thing. Knuckles was like the coolest character. Easily, it will forever be my favorite version of Knuckles. They will never capture that energy, that style of Knuckles ever again, because he's just like super cool. And the way he looked in like the way the characters look in SA2 is like, I just love the way the game is. Like, it's just, it's great, it's great. But yeah, when I got both adventures myself, it just escalated even further, you know. I got to play through SA1 for the first time in my life and experience things I've never seen. I've never played through Amy's story. I've never seen Big's story. So it was like really cool, you know, connecting with the characters and building my admiration for the series. Those will forever be the games that got me into Sonic like I am now. A lot of it is just because of the characters, you know, playing as these characters and connecting to them. Knuckles being one of those characters, the one I declared my favorite character at the time, it was just a great time, man. Like, I really just, it made me look forward to the games, because every game, you know, you were expecting to play as your favorite characters at that time. So when Sonic Heroes came around, dude, I like Knuckles in Heroes as well. He's like basically the same as SA2. He just, you know, looks different, and because of the whole team gimmick, he doesn't play nearly as good. But yeah, dude, it was just, Knuckles was such a cool character in the Dreamcast era. I just really liked him, and it became like my go-to favorite character for a game or anything. Like my gamer tag was like, it had Knux in it. Like, all of my early accounts for everything, I just had Knuckles as my name, or Knux rather than Knuckles. But yeah, that's basically what I went by. Like, that was like my gamer name. So when I was coming up with an account for this, like, I had an account before this that had nothing to do with gaming, and I just watched YouTubers. Then I just decided, okay, I kind of want to do this myself. So a lot of the possible names were really weird. I think there was Knux Zone or Steven Gaming or something. There were so many weird names in concept for this, so I just put my name and my favorite character together, basically. And that's how you get StephenKnux, so obviously, if you're curious about that. But that's basically the reason. Man, I am going off topic a lot. It's in topic, but it's not going with the points that I bring up. So when I got my hands on Sonic 3, I thought it was cool. Like, this dude is in the old games too. Like, he's not just in the 3D games, he's actually in the older games. So when I got Mega Collection and Gems, it was like a breath of fresh air. Like, Knuckles is in these games. Like, he's in Sonic R, The Fighters, he's in was it Drift? Like, even Triple Trouble. Like, he's in Triple Trouble as well. People forget that, but it was really cool because he has the same abilities, right? He can break through rocks, he can like glide and climb walls. I thought that was just the coolest thing ever, going backwards, because I'm like, man, I'm late on the party with this. But yeah, so every time I played Sonic 3, I never play as Sonic. I completely only choose Knuckles in all of those games, like Sonic Blast as well. For some reason, you can play as Knuckles. I don't know why, but any game that offered me to play as Knuckles, I just immediately play as Knuckles, because that's the character, again, I gravitated towards. Character-wise, you know, what I grew to like Knuckles for, other than the way he just was, is, you know, his backstory. I really like his story. The fact that he's this confused, lonely guy that just, he has his own island. Like, he's inhabited this island just cause, you know, he thinks that's what he's supposed to do. So he guards this emerald and he's just there, you know, he's not a bad guy like it's like, you know, Sonic 3 kind of gives off in the beginning and such. But he's just really, he's misunderstood and a lot of things don't make sense to him. And I think that's like a really great way, that's a really good character in my opinion. Like, he's not stupid, he's not a stupid guy, he's just like, he can't really trust everyone because he doesn't know why he's there, he doesn't know why he's supposed to do the things he's supposed to do. He's just like, he's just a chill guy, he just wants to be, he wants to do the right thing, right? So when he runs into Sonic and becomes friends with him, he feels as if, you know, he can trust these people because they haven't really let him down yet. And I think that's part of the reason why, you know, you'll see Knuckles and Sonic kind of argue all the time, or every once in a while, because like, Knuckles just wants to confirm that, you know, Sonic is doing the right thing for not only him, but just, you know, just morally, right? Because I think Knuckles is all about, you know, morals and doing what he believes is right. So it's a really, I think he's a really well designed character. His design, it's like, as far as how he looks, I already expressed it, but I really like it. I just love how they design Knuckles. He has that classic look, but it still looks fresh. Like, it's a weird mix, and I don't know, he has such a unique, like, the whole echidna look, the whole zigzag tail thing, that looks pretty cool. His quills that just go straight down, I think it's a great design choice. And I think there's just so much to like about the character. He's a very important character for the series. With the Sonic series facing such, you know, criticism for introducing so many characters, they often forget what these characters, you know, did for the games and did for the series rather. Knuckles, you know, his inclusion's important in Sonic 3 because he adds more to the game. Like, he's another path in the game, he's another ability in the game, like another way to play the game. And that's a great way to, you know, make a character. That's what you have to do with a character to make him appealing, you know, other than just he looks cool. He has to actually work too. And yeah, I think he just works fine. Even in 3D, I love the way he is in the 3D games as well. When I say that, I mean like the Dreamcast games and only the Dreamcast games. But you know, I don't want to crap on Heroes too much. It's not his fault that he's pretty nerfed in Heroes, because everyone got nerfed in Heroes. But I really just started to get annoyed around the time like Sonic X and like around the time you know, his voice actor changed. That's when I really just started to get annoyed with, you know, how they were doing Knuckles, because he just became this really slow powerhouse character that just, it's very stereotypical. It kind of went against everything that was cool about Knuckles. Like, he's this slow power type and he doesn't feel like a Sonic character, you know? Even like in Sonic Riders, like I appreciate that he's the power type, but I don't know, it was so emphasized to the point that he didn't feel like a Sonic character. Like, he didn't feel like a fast character to me. I don't know what it was. Like, I don't know if it's because his voice actor just sounded so much older, like, and angrier. Like, Knuckles has a temper, but he's not like the super angry guy all the time like Dan Green would make him out to be. Like, it's just, I didn't really like it. And that's around the time I was like still really into the series, right? Around the time 06 was coming out, that's when I kind of just fell out of the series. I was just kind of like, I don't want to say growing out of it, but I guess that's kind of what it was. I just started to like other stuff, and Sonic was just like that game I used to like, but, you know, keep up with. And it saddens me that he hasn't really changed much from that. Like, he's just only gotten dumber over the years. Like, they've just really been pushing this angry red guy that just gets, he's strong and also angry at Sonic because he thinks he's better than Sonic. I just don't think Knuckles was ever that kind of guy. Maybe he was and I just missed that, and maybe the comics or something, but Knuckles was never really that guy to just be like, oh, Sonic, I'm just the overall better person. There are scenes in SA2 where he's just like, oh, I can do this no problem, or it's my responsibility, that kind of thing. But he's never, I don't know, he's never came off as super cocky to me, and it's just kind of weird. Like, when you look at Lost World cutscenes or anything modern, really, it just, I don't know, even the way he looks nowadays, I never really liked modern Knuckles, the way design wise. I just think he looks weird, dude. I know a lot of people won't agree with that, but just a lot of the modern characters, especially Knuckles, I just never liked the way he looked visually. It's just, he doesn't look the same, dude. Like, look at SA2 and look at SA1, even Heroes, like, it's just, he looks hella weird, dude. I just can never feel, you know, I can never get into this newer Knuckles, no matter how many times they try to make him, you know, like a serious and cool again. It just doesn't feel right, man. And that's why I don't like to talk about it. I don't want to be like that guy to be like, oh, they need to make Knuckles cool again, right? I'm gonna stop caring. It's just like Knuckles is so different now to me at least, to the point that I don't really, it doesn't matter what they do to him. It's just kind of, I've just lost touch with where they're going with Knuckles, to where the character I liked back then, just I haven't felt that with him in a long ass time. It could be that just because I'm getting older and such, but I don't think that that's the case, man, because I can play SA2 over and over and really like Knuckles in that game. SA1, same thing. Sonic Heroes cutscene, same thing. After that, I don't know what the hell happened to him. Knuckles was like this really cool character to me. Again, I can't stress how much Knuckles was like my icon in gaming, like as far as like my avatar and Xbox Live and my profiles and such. It's just, I can't connect with them anymore like I used to. I can't even call them like, if we're talking about the modern cast, I don't even have a favorite character because I don't really like many of them nowadays because they're just so different to me. I don't know if it's because the way they look or the voice cast, or I don't know. But I mean, I don't want to, this video's turned into like a modern rant. I didn't try to make that. I didn't try to make that happen. Basically, I like Knuckles for a lot of reasons. Design-wise, he's so freaking cool looking. No other character looks like Knuckles because he's the only echidna in the series, you know, minus Tikal, another character I like, but because he's the only echidna in the series, it just makes him that unique looking character. He's a classic character, meaning he has the roots of Sonic, not just like of the 3D games, but also the classic era. He can freaking glide. He doesn't even look like he can. He doesn't have wings or anything, but he just can, and it's the coolest thing ever. He has the coolest music, and I like to imagine that he's like, the character himself is really into music as well, which is, I just like to imagine that. I don't know if he really is. Like, just picture Knuckles on an island just by himself, just listening to freaking, I don't know, like Bob Marley or something. It's like the coolest image to me. I don't know why. And the fact that he's associated with like the main jewels of the series, the emeralds, right? It's all connected to Knuckles and somehow, making him just a really important character. And yeah, I hope you guys got like a gist of why I like Knuckles, my history with the character. Yeah, it's basically, yeah, I just grew up really liking the character. He caught my attention really fast, and he just, I guess, stuck with me over the years. I can say that is my legit reason for liking Knuckles. So there you go, if you've ever wanted to know that. Here's hoping I eventually get that Knuckles video game spin-off I've always wanted. Maybe one day, who knows. But yeah, that's it. That's the reason.